Greetings lords and ladies, and welcome to the Westeros vibe, where zigzagging is probably the healthiest thing you can do during a battle. Before we start, I would like to remind you that links to every article or video covered this week can be found in the video description below. Also in the description you will find timestamps, so that you can choose which stories you will want to view. We start the week with Sophie Turner and Rickon discuss last night's final scene. Spoilers ahead, mateys, so watch out. The scene in question came down to Ramsay becoming dog food for his starved hounds, complete with grotesque sounds and a satisfied Sansa newly widowed. Sophie Turner had the following statement: Sansa needs her first kill and it has to be Ramsay, no one else but her. And when he basically says, "He's yours," I'm like, yes. She leaves him for dead, walks away, doesn't even watch him die. It's such a great scene, so well written, and it's so great to be able to have my first kill. As for the newly unemployed Ewan, it's a good scene. It leaves Sansa in an interesting place as a character because he's saying, "I'm inside you now." Rickon shudders, it's horrible, and I think he probably has done some damage. He's gotten in her head, but I think it's nice too because it's such a great scene to go out on. Moving on to HBO Now crashes during Battle of the Bastards. Scenes of shock and terror as during the epic Bastard battle HBO Go crashed and burned, leaving a trail of desperation and pissed off fans. For Twitter reactions and more, click the link below and read. Next up, director Miguel Sapochnik on filming the Battle of the Bastards. In the article he talks about its origins, logistics and the Battle of Meereen. Here's a small sample, read the rest by following the link below. That said, at some point you need to put all the research down and tell a good story. The Bolton shield wall, for example, was a production-friendly way to emulate a double envelopment pincer move, without using horses as originally scripted, and also as a way to avoid seeing horizons on the field and therefore having to dress fewer dead bodies on stage background fights, because we didn't have the money. In other news, Battle of the Bastards is the highest rated Game of Thrones episode on IMDb. Apparently the episode lived up to the hype as it is rated as a 10. Congratulations and more 10s to you. More Battle of the Bastards news with Liam Cunningham explains why Ghost wasn't in Battle of the Bastards. The reason was that it was no place for Direwolf despite the fact that Grey Wind fought beside Robb all the way. Cunningham also said the following: "He may have taken a shit when he found the stag. I think it was best that happened off camera. I know we push the edges of drama and jump over the line occasionally, the best drama does, but I don't think we've yet sunk to the requirement of seeing me have to defecate. We haven't reached that low point. Maybe that's in season 29. Moving on to an article which states the obvious. Be patient, Game of Thrones fans, George R. R. Martin's Winds of Winter will be better than the HBO version. In it, the author goes through a lot of changes for the show which were for the worse, from the Dorne plotline to Tyrion's character. We have talked about changes in previous episodes, but this article contains a few more. If you're interested, click the link and devour the information. Next up, Sophie Turner, Ewan, Rickon and Gemma Whelan chat about the major events of Battle of the Bastards. Let us see what each of them said. Sansa stated, "I think the social boundaries of the time period that Thrones is loosely based on means that these men still view women as less capable of battle planning or anything to do with typical seemingly male activities. Patriarchy even in this fictional world is very real." Ewan said, "He does talk about those dogs quite a lot, so I think fate had a sense of irony there for him. It's a justified, gruesome, horrible ending for a horrible character. I feel glad he didn't die in his sleep or something. He goes out with a bang." Finally, Gelma said, "I think at the moment Yara knows that she's got to cut something that means a great deal for her for the long game. Yara recognizes that her whole way of life has changed anyway. As it stands, she's not welcome back at the Iron Islands, so sacrificing that way of life possibly isn't that big of a deal. She's taking a leap and teaming up with someone who's got other ways of doing things. In a very quick amount of time, she has to play that chess game and say, okay, no more." In other news, Tom Vlashisha on why Jake and Hagar let Arya leave Bravos. To this end, he said, she didn't want anyone in the House of Black and White who wouldn't be ready or wouldn't be fit to be a faceless man. I don't know if she had to be that mean to her, but ultimately I mean trying to kill her. When Jaqen told the waif go ahead and kill her but don't let her suffer, I think the faceless man in her philosophy, they're kind of evolved beyond all those human things. As I said, death is a part of life, so if Arya had died, Jaqen would have probably regretted it, or would have been sorry, but that would have only meant that she wasn't the person that he'd been looking for. Moving on to, are book readers right to be annoyed with Season 6? This article features a debate between Mike Hogan and Joanna Robinson on this topic. It is an interesting read, so if you are curious on the subject, follow the link and have at it. As a reader myself, I would like to say that I am somewhat annoyed due to the many plot changes, most egregiously Dorne and Riverrun. Next up, 5 Game of Thrones stars are getting pay raised to $500,000 per episode. The happy winners of the salary sweepstakes are Peter Dinklage, Kit Harington, Lena Headey, Emilia Clarke and Nikolai Coster-Waldau. Wish them all the best and hope they will not drown when swimming in their pools of show money. In other news, HBO says Brexit won't affect Game of Thrones production. Following Thursday's vote, there were fears that this ground-shifting event will affect a piece of entertainment. Fortunately, HBO came out and calmed everyone's fears. We do not anticipate that the result of the EU referendum will have any material effect on HBO producing Game of Thrones. NI Screen, which funds the show's production, said, "This statement is to confirm that Northern Ireland Screen's production funding comes from the Northern Ireland Executive through Invest NI and does not use monies provided from European-funded programs. We look forward to business as usual." Moving on, to the lands of YouTube, we have more videos to mention this week. Reviews and discussions for Episode 9, Battle of the Bastards, have been released by the following channels: AltShiftX, Westeros.org, Emergency Awesome, Preston Jacobs, Red Team Review, Vassals of Kingsgrave, and History of Westeros with their show-only and book-to-show discussions. History of Westeros have released a live Q&A about Season 6 book-to-show. Emergency Awesome has released a video about the Battle of the Bastards, the Episode 10 trailer breakdown, a Q&A for his episode review, and a video about Brexit's effect on the show. Preston Jacobs has released a Q&A for his Episode 9 review, and the 4th part of his Deeper Dorne series. Red Team Review has released a theory on Cersei, Mad Queen, and a Q&A for his episode review. That is the news for the week ending on June 26th. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned. Goodbye everyone, see you next week.